You're listening to the Quint's podcast.
Amid the threat of the Omicron variant and the rising cases in the country, the Election Commission released new guidelines on the conduct of the upcoming assembly elections in 5 states, which primarily ban all physical political rallies and roadshows till 15 January. Along with the ban on political rallies, other guidelines are along the lines of all officials on election duty to be double vaccinated, no victory processions post results, and that political parties and candidates are advised to conduct their campaigns through digital or virtual means only. While the EC did receive some flak for not pushing the elections altogether, given the record-breaking daily COVID cases that we are seeing, Chief Election Commissioner Sushil Chandra defended the decision, stressing that holding timely elections is the essence of maintaining democratic governance. But the guidelines have also raised eyebrows on the following 2 points. First, why have political rallies banned only till 15 January? And second, will this ban affect the level playing field in crucial poll-bound states like Uttar Pradesh and Punjab? Joining me today to discuss this is Dr. S.Y. Qureshi, the former Chief Election Commissioner of India, and Aditya Menon, the Quint's political editor. You're tuned in to The Big Story, the podcast where we dissect the headline-making news for you, and I'm your host, Himmat. Let's dive first into what the new AC guidelines are to situate ourselves with what kind of assembly elections we may be seeing in the coming months. Here is a quick rundown of the main themes of the guidelines. First, there are various health and safety guidelines issued given the state of COVID-19 in our country, like sanitizer stations at entry and exit points of every polling station, and a mandate for all officials present at voting booths to be double vaccinated. Other guidelines are in the form of campaign restrictions, like a maximum of 5 persons to be allowed for door-to-door election campaigns by candidates. No nukkad sabhas will be held on public roads, streets and corners. No rallies and public meetings will also be allowed between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. And pertinently, no physical rally of political parties, probable candidates or any other group related to elections shall be allowed till 15 January. Now, the definition of rallies include roadshows, padyatras, cycle or bike rallies, and even processions. And to make sure that parties abide by these rules, each candidate will be required to furnish an undertaking to the EC that they will follow all guidelines in this regard. But the guidelines which has drawn most flack from the political experts and commentators is a ban on rallies till only 15 January. While the Election Commission has stated that it will review the situation again and will issue fresh instructions later, why were rallies not banned altogether given the alarming rise in daily COVID-19 cases? Reacting to these guidelines, former Chief Election Commissioner of India Dr. S.Y. Qureshi said that while the guidelines are sound overall, certain points like distinguishing public meetings and rallies and the ban till 15 January are quite puzzling.
I think the guidelines are excellent, but there were only two questions which crossed my mind. One, that the rallies have been banned only for a week now, till the notification, which is on the 15th of January. Whereas the rallies on the day of counting on 10th of March have been banned. So why not banning them altogether? What is likely to change in 1 week? So after a week, if you allow the rallies, 4 lakh people will come. I do not understand the purpose. Secondly, what is the difference between the rally and a public meeting? Except maybe the rally perhaps is bigger. But if a big leader goes for a public meeting, it will still attract 1 lakh or 2 lakh people, and the risk will still be the same. So that distinction to me is a bit thin. So the third was that even a cycle rally has been banned, which I thought was perhaps not desirable, because while we have to ban the rallies because of COVID, at the same time as everybody keeps saying that you can't destroy the spirit of the festival of democracy. So now cycle rallies, imagine 500 cycles cycling down the road 2-3 meters apart, carrying flags. They will still create a very good visual impact, and people can see them from the balconies, from the rooftop. It can create an impact. Similarly, motorcycle rallies, For a kilometer or two, rallies going every motorcycle 5 feet away from each other. So that would have compensated for the ban on the rallies.
As the EC's COVID curves loom over the assembly elections, political parties are now forced to switch gears and adopt their campaigns and outreach strategies through a digital medium. However, while this may sound like the future of elections and campaigning, it has always tipped the advantage towards parties with deep pockets and vast resources at their dispense. Consider the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, for instance, where an Indian Express report points out that the Bharatiya Janata Party reportedly spent Rs 27 crore on platforms such as Google and Facebook, whereas the second largest party, the Congress, only spent Rs 5.6 crore. And when it comes to following on social media, the BJP's 17.3 million follower count on Twitter is more than double that of the Congress and more than 3 times that of the Aam Aadmi Party and Samajwadi Party. And the results of the 2019 NES survey, conducted by the Center for the Study of Developing Societies, point out the impact of these kind of large investments. For example, the survey states that in UP, 22% of voters were contacted by the BJP through virtual means compared to only 9% by the Samajwadi Party. In Uttarakhand, voters contacted by the BJP through SMS and WhatsApp were 17%, compared to only 12% by the Congress, 6% by the BSP, and only 1% by the SP. Dr. Qureshi believes that the question on the level playing field getting disturbed is a far cry and exaggerated, given that all the other types of media appearances or virtual rallies will also cost all parties equally.
I think, there's a question of the level playing field getting disturbed. To me, again, is a little far-fetched because the richer parties could organize bigger rallies. So the rallies don't come for free. They also cost money. So the fact that some parties have more money, more funds, so that is their natural advantage. And the others who cannot buy as much of social media have a little disadvantage. But if you were to buy TV time, that costs money. If you were to buy print media space, that costs money. So therefore, to say that level playing field is getting disturbed, I think it is being is exaggerated and it's a distortion.
However, Aditya Menon, the Quint's political editor, believes that though these parties will lose equally on the ban on physical political rallies, the BJP may lose out more than the others since organizing big rallies, especially those helmed by the Prime Minister, are one of its main ways to garner voters and support.
Obviously, the BJP will lose a bit because of this, because in the past 7 years, we have seen how Prime Minister Narendra Modi's rallies in any election are a mega event for the BJP. The BJP ensures a high turnout in many of PM Modi's rallies. Often we have seen that people are brought from other regions of that state where the rally is being held, other districts from where the rally is being held, and it's used to mobilize party cadres from across the region. So obviously the BJP won't be able to do that at least as long as the embargo on rallies continues. But one must also keep in mind that the BJP is the strongest party in terms of financial resources by a very long stretch. The BJP is also the strongest party in terms of cadre strength. So if any party will be able to continue to push its message without big rallies, without big road shows, probably the BJP is best placed to do it compared to any other party. So to say that the party would be on a weak wicket because of this is a bit far-fetched. Probably other parties would lose as much, if not more, from this entire embargo on rally.
The opposition so far has exuded confidence and welcomed the new guidelines and poll schedule. Some, like the Congress, have already rolled out virtual campaigns. Hours before the EC announced a new election schedule, Congress leader Priyanka Gandhi held a 30-minute live Facebook session called Priyanka Ke Saath Live. An India Today report points out that the party is also planning on building specific apps related to their campaigns and candidates. In Punjab, Congress Chief Navjot Singh Sidhu stated that their quote-unquote social media war room has more than 10,000 WhatsApp groups and that their campaigns would follow COVID-19 protocols. But how effective will these virtual rallies be? Will it change the nature of the upcoming elections? Aditya weighs in.
Obviously, now parties would be greatly dependent on the social media, on WhatsApp and on SMS messages and on mass phone calls to put their message across, besides, of course, door-to-door campaigning. So the digital side of things and the telephonic campaign side of things would become more important now. Even there, I think the BJP would probably be at an advantage because it probably possesses more voter data than any other party. As we have said earlier, it has greater financial resources, it has greater cadre strength. So it would be able to gather this data of people in a much more effective manner than other parties, particularly regional parties would be at a disadvantage because rallies were the way the traditional parties, that's how they mobilize voters. So I would still say that BJP, given its diversity of its resources, in terms of cadre strength, in terms of financial resources, in terms of its efficacy on digital media, I think BJP would still be best placed to you know change gears into this new mode of campaigning compared to more traditional parties. Congress and Samajwadi Party, Aam Aadmi Party also have fairly decent digital wings, so they might still be able to adapt. But I think the going would be tougher for parties like the Bahujan Samaj Party, for parties like the newly formed Farmers Party in Punjab. I think these parties would probably find it a little tougher now to campaign without the traditional forms of electioneering. So obviously, those parties would be wishing that this embargo is lifted as soon as possible. This is absolutely uncharted territory, actually, for the election commission, for political parties, for voters, to figure out who they are voting for or to figure out what issues are at stake without there being any major rallies and any major road shows for a substantial period of time before elections. Uh, so, I mean, the electioneering for this period shifting to the digital sphere and to the media and television sphere is something new, and yeah, in the long run, maybe it might just push parties into investing in these spaces much more than they already do.
At the Quint, we are gearing up our election coverage, and we will bring you ground reports, analysis, a new podcast series, and in-depth videos. And you can also contribute to our journalism by becoming a member. Details of the same are in our show notes. If you liked listening to this episode, please subscribe to The Big Story for episodic updates. We're available on Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, JioSaavn, and most of the other popular podcast streaming platforms. For other podcasts, please log on to the Quint website, and for any feedback, please shoot an email to podcast@thequint.com.
Thanks for listening. Log on to the Quint's website and check out our other podcasts.